good right here. When the weather's nice, like this, work outdoors, man. Wow. Thought I'd use that instead of making the grinder noise. More sociable, isn't it? The plasma cutter.
Yeah.
Well, the grinder, nobody can talk, nobody can hear, nobody can nothing. Yeah, we're taking a Ford and putting in no, we're taking a Hup and putting on a Ford body because it's really all Hup, the frame. Do you notice how everything is Hup in this thing? The head, the engine, the manifold. They were proud of it.
Yeah, they put their name on every part.
Yeah, they were proud of it, man. It must mean they made it. That was funny, wasn't it? Under pressure! Yeah. That piece turned out pretty. I got pretty lucky on that. Finding that piece to make that. Yeah. Got pretty lucky on that. One make the top and bottom out of that. Top and bottom. I think it's high enough in the front. We don't want to go way too high in the front, do we? Go a little lower in the back.
No.
Huh?
I would, if you had more power and could really perform, yes, a little higher in the front.
What? A little more
It's
power.
not going to go very good in third. It's too bad you couldn't hook up an automatic overdrive in second gear. That's what you need. Something that you just tramp it in second, let off, and tramp it again. It's in second gear overdrive.
Yeah.
That would be your in-between gear if you could find a transmission that would take a overdrive hooked up to number 2. Like Studebakers and Fords used to have.
Slow down on that one.
Yeah, they used to have overdrives. The Studebaker Hawkeye had second gear overdrive and third gear with another overdrive.
Oh, wow.
So 2 overdrives. So I think it is possible to have a Ford or something with second gear overdrive, but I don't know if you could get that hooked up.
They didn't say anything about transmissions, I don't think.
Yeah, if you could have a 3-speed overdrive, especially a 3-speed overdrive in second and third, that's what you want. That would give you power in between second and
Well,
third,
this-
and you'd kick ass then. You'd pass everybody. Because all cars back in those days were sucked out when they hit third gear. Nothing. Several telephone poles, and then you start going. You know, they're kind of dead. So if you had a second gear overdrive, you could burn rubber there.
Well, you know what? We're gonna try it out in the dooryard probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Joni's gonna have to take it for a spin. We'll put a seat on it or something, and she can take it down across the field.
Might kind of help if you had big tires on the back.
We plan on that.
Big tires might make it want to hold its revs, so it'll help third gear. Know what I mean? Like if you rev it out in second, hit with big tires, it'll help the motor, I think, when it hits third.
I agree.
Because the momentum of the tire turning will almost push the motor up in revs.
And gear ratio.
Yeah.
What kind of? I'd like to have a tire that fits the wheel well of the car.
Oh, you want a tire big enough that would go on that Oldsmobile.
Well, I want the car to sit like this, with the wheel like this. Or I might cut this and bring this up further and put the wheel inside of it. I'm not sure yet. Whatever it fits, but I want the wheel to fit in there like that. And that far away. Even if whatever I do with it, whether I cut this part and bring it up here, I might section it and bring it up. I'm not sure yet.
Well, you might not need to, because the motor's going to have to stick up there someplace.
I'd like to have the motors in the car a little bit.
Yeah.
Like inside the car a little bit. We're making this is completely to go down the track and to look cool, and that's it. Nothing else. It's gonna look cool and just go down the track. It's all that matters. And Jolene's driving.
Well, it's too bad it didn't have an overdrive in second gear.
Well, you never know. It might.
I'm just thinking, I don't think I have one right now. I had one for a while.
It might even get a flathead in it. You never know. It all depends when we get driving it. But it sounds some nice. When we started it, it sounded real nice, man. Sounded real nice. I had good oil pressure. Like I can't be no more than happy with it. It fits in the frame. It is the Hupmobile frame, so. It is so. I'm happy that way. And, you know, I'm not going to win. If you know, I'm kind of doing it for the adventure and the build, I guess. To give myself something to think about. I'm able to, why not? The way I look at it, why not? And I only do what my brain tells me to do.
Well, your brain works better than mine.
Why you say that? You're driving a Ferrari, ain't you?
Yeah, but I had to train my brain to stay focused and concentrate.
You don't think I have to talk to mine every day?
I get distracted and just enjoy myself and forget to even think about things.
Oh, I have to talk to myself every day, there, Jim. When I'm talking to myself generally. About behave and be happy and shit.
You don't get too many arguments that way.
No. That's right. Throws it right down, man.
Matter of fact, it's been a while since I had remember arguing with myself.
Arguing with myself. Well,
I don't think I do argue with myself. Not with the same upsetness that I do with other people. Sometimes. Maybe myself hits me in a different area that I'm not even aware of.
That 1/8 plate strong enough for that? 2 gussets. You see, they got the other stuff down there. Strong enough, Jimmy?
I'd say plenty heavy.
Jim says it's okay. It's okay. Good.
If you do anything more, it would just be art. Like I think, like if you put, say, the same thing in there again,
Yeah.
another one, like
Yeah.
double them,
Yeah.
so they're that far apart.
Yeah.
That would just be art, you know. But I don't think it needs it.
Cool. I could put another
But
one.
that does
I could-
hold. Oh, wait a minute.
Huh.
If I grabbed, here's the fact. If I grabbed a pipe wrench
Yeah.
and hooked onto that, I can bend it.
You
That
think-
makes it no good,
You-
considering this is the lever. If you hit a ditch right here, you don't want that to buckle. So that's why they make this, like this is, that's anchors this wheel in the car. So I'd say, yeah, it should,
Well, it's anchored in 3 spots. We're welded on the underneath. So you'd have to rip the underneath off.
like it should
You'd have to tear-
technically, considering the weight out here in the car, it almost needs them out here too. Like
Yep.
here.
Yep. I'll do that.
There. Now that looks strong. Because here's the lever point, is the
Yeah.
wheel and the car. So that's strong, like it needs to be strong.
2 more.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 more.
All right. I'll go with that.
Yeah, because that holds that holds both wheels in place.
Yeah, I understand that. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. But what I was looking at,
Yeah.
it's connected. It's welded here
Yeah.
in the center. It's welded underneath on this bracket, right? It's got that. We have to rip that off. And then we have to rip that off.
Well,
and then we have to rip that off.
If we
But I-
had planks and a whole bunch of people, and you bend the body this way, and we'll hold this wheel down, this would bend. If you had, say, 10 people with a great big pole, pulling on it, and holding that wheel down with the jack, this would bend on the front end. So you want it good and strong. So this edge has to be anchored.
So I'm going.
Like,
Okay.
you know, for the
So I'm
weight.
going to do 4 of them.
Yes.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4. There you go, baby. I'm going to do 4 of them. And that'll work, won't it? Huh?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
4 of them it is. I agree with you. I'll go with 4. It would just make it that much stronger.
The only other thing you could do would be right like this.
Oh, we wouldn't
Anchor
make
it.
too many.
Anchor that plate to this corner of the frame.
No, I'm happy with 4.
You know, just to make sure it never goes this way.
2, I was thinking, yeah, but I'll go with the 4 because of the way out there. I might even just weld one out there and one on the other end. Where would it go?
Like this.
Yeah, like do it like that instead.
Oh, that looks light. You're not after 4-wheel drive strong,
No.
and that's adequate. It's out where it has to be on
Yeah.
the edge to catch the weight, and there it's anchored for there, and there's for that.
That's-
yeah,
that's fine.
that looks a lot better.
I'm gonna do it
I
that
wouldn't
way.
even bother. Yeah, I wouldn't even put any. in
Nope.
here.
All
They look
right. I was thinking of putting it in here for some reason. It's connected on this one, but I
know,
don't need
but
that one.
It's
But it-
heavier looking this way. This
Okay.
is lighter and adequate. At least it catches the edge.
Good.
They
No,
don't
leave them there,
stay in
Jim.
place.
Okay. That way there, it's there, it's there, right? If it fall down again, they'll be
No,
there.
but there's a lot of movement here.
Yes. All right. So yeah. So I'm gonna let that down. Pull that out. I want to. This is what I want to do. I'm gonna put the jack underneath. I got a couple small jacks. Just see if I can get the. I don't want all the weight on the front there, where I haven't got these connected yet. That makes sense, doesn't it? Jack that up a little bit. Yeah, I wasn't thinking there about that, was I, Jimbo? Just bringing her out a little bit. Am I going in there? Good. That's good. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. And the board on this side. Board there. That jack stand I had got way too big. I'm gonna put it right here. You got her, Doc? You got her, you caught her. Yeah, let me get this son of a gun out. Oh no.
It'll only come out one way.
Yeah. I think it went in. I'm gonna cut that in half, probably. You watch. I'm not messing with that. See if you can get it out, Jim, before I get a zip cut put on it. That's the test right there. Before I get a zip cut on it, you can get her out. You'll save it. If you can't get it out before I get a zip cut on it, it's not get cut.
Seems like it needs at least half an inch longer.
It is, doesn't it? I got it in there, but it grew.
No.
Rig back.
Yeah. No, sir. It's in there. I don't know how.
Yeah, I understand. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Might as well cut it about here. Because it's kind of like wood. A long piece is worth quite a bit, but when it gets shorter and shorter, it's like cut it right here. Well, don't cut it.
Can't get the ground on.
Oh.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I get the ground on. Don't you worry. Just because it's not. I mean, I can't cut it. But I'm gonna.
Maybe just jack it up and bend it.
Where's that at? Am I close? Yeah. You guys win anything on the Price is Right? Right now, would you?
Yeah.
Pull that out of the way there a little bit so we don't jump on or anything. I'll close that off. Just gonna shut that down. Stop leaking. It's a good thing. It's a good thing there was two brains here because I was thinking about welding that in there. I'm glad I'm out there. I'm glad I'm out there. Looks better. See that primer and the metal?
Yeah.
Someone sandblasted that frame and everything, did they not?
Yeah, that's.
They did, didn't they? I'm sure they did. Just by the looks of it. I wonder if I strip them together and make them become twins. Match, like my face and my ass. You know why they call it a match, Jim? Because they both belong to me. I know, I never knew that, never thought of that before, you know. When you said you had your face and ass, it was a match. It's because they both belong to you. It's a match. It's like your fingerprints. Never thought of that. Do you ever think of that? I never thought of that. Just till, never thought of that. I just get it now. I just get it. I'm a little slow. You'll go home right to work on your car, won't you, Jim?
Well,
What?
I could do a little bit, but I think I'm kind of stopped in my tracks right now until I come up with new ideas or new things I'm going to work on.
All right, on. So I'm saying that this is how high your car is going to be in the front end, unless we decided to jack it up somehow. We can jack it up, we can put some underneath, I suppose, but I don't think there's any need necessary. I don't think. It seems to be up high enough in the front end.
Is that mechanically an idea that's normal to have the whole front end hooked just in a narrow spot?
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Okay.
Yep, seen it before.
You know, like I'd almost think it should be braced from like up here down to there.
Well, you just
Just
take
to,
you take this thing here, Lo.
like a steady bar or something.
Yeah.
You know, just to give it added suspension so this doesn't rock or move. But you'd have to be four-wheeling to get that.
Well,
You know
see
what I
how
mean?
the other
Like-
see how the other one was built. See how the bars went. These bars that I bent went in the center.
Yeah.
Well, that went in the center, and this is the cross member went from frame to frame that bolted in the center like that.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the springs came out of that down.
Yes.
So in a way, it's this big.
Yes.
It's just gusseted.
It
strong.
goes all the way across.
Yeah.
But also, so there's a stronger, obviously. There's a stronger because they got a cross member all the way across. To me, it is. That's stronger than that. But where I have split these, and I'm going to make and gusset these, run them down the side. Now it should have no movement whatsoever.
Oh yes, yes.
So I've kind of gained a little bit by
Yeah.
changing the positioning of those the wishbone, because the wishbone before it could go either way. It was all
Yeah.
counting on this,
Mm.
where it's tied
Oh,
back
right.
there.
Yeah, you've taken the demand off this totally
Yeah.
because of that. Now it's
Exactly.
holding the whole thing in place.
Right. What's it called? Supply and demand.
Yeah. This is only like an anchor pin just to help hold the wheels.
Yeah.
To back here, which is actually holding it.
Yeah.
Because up here's floating, back there isn't.
Right.
So it is actually holding this moving part
Right.
back here,
Yes.
not here.
Yes.
This is the anchor point, just like a base.
Yeah. Yes.
Like
I'm
a,
agreeing.
Jesus. Like a
He's
door
knocking her
stop or
down.
something.
You got her,
door won't
man.
open any farther than that.
And I never put a whole bunch of thought into it, but that is what's going on there. You know, we've strengthened one.
Yeah.
We've weakened one compared to stock, or to the other. We've weakened one point, but we strengthened it in a different point. I mean, it's not strengthened now because of the way I've got these bent, but I obviously have to make them into something. But it's fun. It's going to rely on the back part of the frame that's really nice shape. The wind, when you weld, is not your friend. Oh. I knew what I forgot right away. It's always that way, Jim. I knew what I forgot right away. this one. I get this put in here and I'll feel much better about the front. Ouch! Ground some hot. Damn. I saw a few times on that. That's what was going on. Ain't that gas? That's okay. That's okay.
I like the wire holding it wrapped around the springs.
Yeah.
Nice added effect.
Is it?
I like that. That looks good.
Scuff that off. Change the poop, that's all. If it looked like poop, I grind it off. Right, Jimbo? Anything looked like poop, you grind it off, don't you? You don't do any much grinding, you say, with the old torch, huh?
Not on sheet metal.
Wow.
You blend your welds in so they're smooth.
So now I'll just clean the inside. I'm going to clean that up a little better when I weld the inside. I guess that's cleaned up pretty good on that side. Yeah, pretty good that side. On the inside. And it should be good to go. Frankenstein.
I was taught to use the torches to weld sheet metal pretty much the exact same way you do with the MIG welder.
Yeah.
But it's a little more into the metal because you have to because of the torch, but that's not how I weld. I do not make a puddle and flow it nice and smooth. I find it's never that easy for me. It's always foreign and I can't see it. I can't see. So when I heat it up, I just start melting the rod, but the rod is constantly stuck. You're forcing the rod to the low spot all the time because it's always stuck. That's how you kind of rock it. Like you don't make a puddle and weld because it'll just cause a lot of time for you and it'll warp everything to fuck. So you drip your way through as fast as you can by flopping the puddle back and forth off the rod that's stuck on the edge. And it's always stuck. Like you're twisting it one way and then you twist it the other way back and forth. Wherever the hole is, you're pushing the rod and you just follow with the torch. And the rod is always stuck. Like that's how I weld. I can go right along pretty quick. A lot faster than if you just hold your rod in a puddle. Because that's like it makes it look pretty and it takes twice as long. But I just kind of droop it right in but anyway, it
that's the way you do it.
the welds are usually on bad circumstances, like up inside a fender in a weird angle at arm's reach with a trouble light, and you're welding, and you just flip the tip back and forth, and sometimes to give you extra metal, you mount the rod in, then you go up an inch, mount the rod and drive it back into the metal and start another kind of bridge it with a whole inch of rod, and then go in there and weld, and you can make it look just like a lake when you're done. Like that's what I like.
You
about
put that much heat in there to get that.
Oh, just red hot. The whole thing's like a molded lava rock. And you're just putting the old steel right in there, making it all nice and level. And if you see a low spot, dark spot, you put more rod there. But with the MIG welder, you're more on top. It does a much more refined job for you, but you don't actually melt it right in to flow it. You build it adequately all over top and then grind it down. You know, because if you float it out, actually you do flow it out in big thick metal, but in sheet metal it's on top.
Yeah.
What happens if you weld with a MIG welder so it melts down in and
you
stuff,
can,
but it takes longer.
Yeah, you have
a lot
to.
trickier.
Well, you
it
have
has to be perfect or something to get that.
You do. You have to take a lot more time to do that. You do, and sometimes it's not worth it. To me, I know. I weigh it out sometimes if it's worth it.
Well, it works so good at the way you can just put it in, grind it off.
Well, I just know that I'm gonna put fill on it anyways, no matter if I get it flushed off or not, because I want to get it, flooded out.
Well, you do it the quick way, because if you weld slow, you're gonna have warps, even with the MIG. If you weld slow.
Yeah, you can. Like, I mean, I don't know. I just kind of. I don't want to take all that time to try to flush it out perfectly. I don't want to take that time.
Like if I wanted my welds on, say, a high-performance street bike, I made a muffler, and I brought my cones that were in perfect condition to you, held them in place, I had them kind of tacked, and you were going to weld them. I'd want a flow-in, total mechanical Chinese-looking weld, like something from some other country, like absolutely that. Like now, if I'm welding on the side of the car, if it's welded in right on, it can be as rough as old fuck. It doesn't matter if there's 6 lines of welds to me. But when if you build, like as I said, an exhaust system for a motorcycle, it's like thick sheet metal, and you want a nice, perfect looking weld.
You could Aiden laid on a bead here one day. He looked like he could do that, like a perfect spot weld every time. Basically, that's the only way you would do it with the MIG welder that I know of. What you want is a perfect spot weld every time. And Jolene's getting good. And that's basically you want every spot weld.
But on sheet metal, you don't spend the time to get it like that because it's hotter and it takes longer. And it's a lot of
Well, I mean,
effort.
it takes more time. Yes, it does. It takes more time to do that, and also, I want
It
to.
takes more time with metal hot too.
Yeah.
You know,
Just
like
kind
you're
of
working, makes you work harder.
It gets it done faster if you're just welding full time
Yeah.
and not warping anything.
Yeah.
If I can weld the whole day, and I can take my time and weld less, and make it look better, probably, I can. But it takes more time.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's face it, everything that becomes perfect takes time.
Well, I know my welds look sloppy enough.
Well,
You know,
Yeah.
like as I said,
basically, it doesn't matter to me as long as when
Yeah.
you grind it, you've got a nice weld going, and there's not a bunch of
Well-
holes in it. You know what I mean? You're basically want to weld it up so there's no pinholes in it. Sometimes I would say.
well, all your welds on the thick stuff are all total factory state of art looking
Acceptable compared to the
Yeah.
this is
Like
this,
your sheet metal weld.
that's
is,
a torch, is it not?
Yeah.
Is that torch?
No, that's arc welder.
Arc welder?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they bit in there.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I got her kind of
You can see where
thick
they
there,
are.
but I want it to make sure it melted in.
Well, no, you weld good.
Melted in it. And that will
But
be.
the torch, you don't make a puddle and just flow a puddle. You're usually working in quicker circumstances. You have more heat, so you can.
You have to work quickly, don't you?
You have to work real quick, so you learn a technique of just rocking the rod and just following the torch.
Once you get that torch in your hand, it's hard to get free of it, isn't it?
Oh, you can't stop.
I mean, once you get the torch in your hand, you can't, unless you have somebody stand there, you can hand it to them.
Oh,
Like-
yeah. If you do something, you have to hold the torch.
Yeah, like you're stuck. Like once you get the torch, you're kind of married to it. You're married to it. The MIG welder, you can throw it down at any point and grab a hammer or go get something
Or at least use your other hand.
Mm.
Because when you use torch, this hand does nothing except for a rod.
You probably roll a cigarette, don't you, Jim? Can you do that? Roll a cigarette and torch at the same time? Pretty close. That cause talent. But yeah, I'm happy with that. Got the front end stuck in there. Got the little bracket made. Got the center up there, good and strong. Not going anywhere. Just gusset back there. Got to make a bracket back there. Got to make those arms look a little bit better. I don't like the way those arms look. What we'll do there is we'll make something and just make it look better. You know what I mean? Like Art Deco it out. Maybe I can put some of that perforated metal on the, put a piece going straight and put perforated metal on the top so it can't come apart and just weld the edge of it up. You know what I mean? That would look good, wouldn't it?
Redecorating the drivetrain.
Redecorating the drivetrain.
Because you're redecorating something that's solid, that like the drivetrain. It's not cosmetic. So you're redecorating it.
Redecorating. I'm repositioning it. In car world,
Redecorating
in
the
car world
drivetrain.
it's called hot rodding,
The suspension of the
customizing.
front.
Yep. It's gonna work. There's no way it can.
Oh, you should paint the side future.
Future. It'd be a pretty grim future looking like that. Huh? I know what I might do. We have some perforated metal, and instead of straightening those out, I think I'll weld them up the way they are, and then I'll put two caps on the side, and with a perforated metal, I'll bend it, and so it slides on, and cut them and weld them along. I got an idea. There's a piece. I can take a piece of metal.
Sometimes they make like that webbed, seriously light duty, but
Yeah.
more than adequate bracing, like right from way the fuck, like comes way up here and down with holes in it, and
Yeah.
gets bigger as it comes up.
Well, I got some.
Something real decorative, but it does the job. Like it really holds.
I got some perforated metal that I might make a pattern, and then I could just
But they,
I could make it go from here to there, and bend it in and bend it in. So I'd make probably a 2-inch, make a 2-inch piece, go all the way, and slide it on there, and then trace this off, and then slide it on there, and weld it on there, and weld it on there, and have the perforated metal on the side here. Wait a second, I gotta go look. I gotta go look in the boneyard now, Jimbo. I got my brain going. I know I've got some. Right there. Look at this piece in the garage. Got a piece in the garage. Every time I clean it up, I go back at the dumpster and go find it.
oh, yeah.
I do. Watch this now. Watch yourself, coming through. Coming through.
Can you buy a gearbox that you can electrically have programmed?
Chase me around, sweetheart? Man, I love you. Man, I love you. You badass. Alrighty, this is what I'm playing. This is my plan. Oh, nope, not at all, Jimbo. I just wonder where I'm gonna throw it down. Biggest place. Throw it down. This is what I'm gonna do. We'll do it 9 inches long. 9 inches long. Nine. Okay. Hmm. 2-inch. Let's do a 2-inch. I can open it and close it. So, 4. I want to make it. What did I say? 9 inches long? 9 inches long. It's on that dot right there. 9 inches long. That way there, I'll keep straight. Two, 4, 6, and 2 is 8. Okay, 8. I'm gonna go here. Yes. What happens. I'm just gonna cut this just for shits and giggles. I think it'll look good actually. I think it's gonna be a decorative piece. Seeing where that looks nice. Like you said, you know something? I'd look at that and cut that off. You know that?
Oh, It's rat roddy.
Yeah, see, I don't notice that. You know what I mean? I don't notice that, but that looks good on that, does it not? Like, now I see it.
It does the job, and it's rat roddy. Like, and I think it looks solid enough. The springs don't go anywhere anyway. They only need a guide at times.
But that's just, yeah. See, I don't look at that sort of stuff sometimes.
Well, usually it's not desirable to leave. You know,
Well,
one's
just
missing. You know, like where they're both there.
it shows time, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was done a long time ago.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Shows
Probably
time.
in the 50s.
Yeah. Crazy what I look at sometimes and miss. And it's just because I'm visualizing something else, I guess. I'm visualizing the car. Not noticing the stuff that's on it. I hope that's not on. Damn it. Set the grinder down. There we go. There we go. That one back so I know where it's at. Here, right there. I got more markers and markers got markers. Alrighty. Did I mark that come that the wrong way? 2. 3, 4. Get my thing going on here. I need 2 in the center. I got what have I got? 8. A little shy of 8. That's fine. That's fine. Two inches in the center, so 2, 8. Why is that not working out for me? 2 inches in the metal. I'm gonna go the center is 4, and I'll just go 1 inch this way. There we go. Now I'm on course. My brain wasn't working for a second. Go through that one.
Don't you usually make it out of cardboard first?
I do, Jimbo. I do. But I'm going for it, right?
Challenging yourself.
Well, I had a little, I had a little brain fart with this metal. I wanted to stick it on there. It's nothing else. Yes, go for it.
I'm a pro at brain farts.
All right.
I
You pro brain farts?
sometimes work really well.
Well, I'm thinking like to fix that. I don't know. Not fix it. If I can weld it up, it should be fine.
I can't eye brackets and braces. Like it goes this way, that way, and on an angle, can't do it. There's no pi or no
Yes,
formula.
you can.
I have to kind of piece. What I do is I piece things together, weld them, make it work, then take it out, and then make something that has the same dimensions as this.
Yeah.
You know, something clean looking. But I have to cobble it together and then take it out and build something right.
Well,
I can't build it right from the start. I have no idea what it's supposed to look like.
You know what that's called? That's called. You're building. What's that called? Learning by
Like a dummy or a
No.
test dummy.
No.
Like,
You're learning by failure.
yeah.
That's exactly how I learned.
Yeah.
That's how everybody learns.
Even if you use good stuff, you may end up making another one
Well,
with a couple
let's face it.
adjustments that you
We all-
discovered.
we all got to face it. We all learn off of mistakes.
Yeah.
That's the way we learn. That's the way we learn. If you do not know that, wow. You do not know that. Wow. It's too bad. I think we're putting that on there. And maybe I could do longer and then cut it like this and give it a nice shape. You know what I'm saying, Jimbo? I don't know if that's long enough or not. Or straightens that up or not. Yeah. And then do this. That's badass. Anything, Jimbo? And I just weld that all the way down there. I'll just count the dots for the next piece.
Yeah.
I can save that for the other one if I want to. This thing just look good. I'll weld that up. Like, you know what I mean? Weld it all the way around. Put some square stock in it. Weld it up so it's solid. And this piece just made it look better. Come here, Jim. Tell me what you think. It's not on there. It's got to come down a little bit. What do you think? Well, I weld that all on there. Weld on there. Weld down around there. Down there.
Well, it definitely makes it look better.
Whoop whoop! I like it. It looks something like what happened on the front springs there. That looks good. I like that. I'm happy with that. Good gusset. Works. It works. It looks good. It's got holes in it. I want to drill the rest of the car with holes. I plan on drilling these with holes, I'm hoping. And I'm going to do it with the plasma cutter and die grinder. I'm going to cut the whole thing full of holes, I think. And get Jolene going with the die grinder. We'll use a couple ear muffs. I'm liking that. I don't have to tell you. No, I like it. I like it. I think it's going to work. We'll weld this side all together in here with a square stock. Continue to weld that back together. And then we'll weld that gusset on it. It'll be fantastic. I don't know if I'm going to sink the rear end up in a little bit further. I'm not sure yet. Like I said, I want the wheels in here. Like right around that wheel itself. It seems to be high enough in the front.
All right.
I'm happy with that. I call that mid